something to say about the water then. If the fish could reason and talk, and you say, hey, I'm going to take away your water till tomorrow, what do you think the fish would say? Then prepare your oven because I'm food. I will die. Well, what if you turned to the fish and you said to the fish, which would you prefer, no water or polluted water? What would the fish choose? Polluted, yucky water? Absolutely. Does somebody need help back here? Okay, let's pay attention up here, or we'll take a break because this is important. When Adam and Eve disconnected from God in the garden, something terrible happened. They became full of pride, selfishness, and rebellion, which is what? The antithesis of intellect, emotions, and will. Everything flopped upside down. These three attributes, pride, selfishness, and rebellion, are the intellect, emotions, and will malfunctioning. They're disconnected. When that happened, there became a problem then between both of them. Why? Does pride humbly serve? Does selfishness humbly serve? Does rebellion humbly serve? So what we discovered was we lost our water. What Adam and Eve lost in the garden was the water. But like the fish, could they live without the water? So they created an alternative route, polluted water. They created a way to relate in their broken, fallen state. And as God is the God of agape, there is another God down here. His name is Satan. He became the god of the dirty water. He's in charge of it. And what we're going to talk about is the dirty water. What I want you to see is where we are and where we land. This and above is the kingdom of God. This is the kingdom of darkness. And if you look at these, they are a mirror contrast. Everything that is up here is down here, but opposite. Everything up here mirrors. Just like looking in a mirror, everything's backwards. If you take and look at yourself in the mirror, there's no problem in the sense it's all there. But if you put letters up, what happens? You know, dentists, I think, are always strange people because they live by looking at a mirror at everything. You know, they must see everything upside down. They flip it. There's a game that I like to play on my phone, and in it they've got where a little ball goes around and hits things, and sometimes it drops down things that happen that if you touch that thing, it happens to you down here, and it modifies what's happening in the game. And one of them is flip. And I always avoid flip as much as I can because now everything goes backwards. And we're so used to going this way when now I'm going that way. And every time I hit flip. Because you have to go the opposite of what you think. And we're such creatures of habit that flipping around is difficult. Well, why is that bad news? Where have we created our habits? Here or here? Down here. We've created our habits down here. Do you see that? So, how do our habits get created? Well, basically, there are 3 lists. Each list having to do with each of the attributes. Each attribute works itself out. This is the kingdom of the lists. Okay? The first list has 6 things. Oops. The 7th we'll talk about after. But these 6 things are the things we do to perform. Why perform? Well, if we live in a state of pride, selfishness, and rebellion, which looks a lot like thinking, feeling, and doing, pride, selfishness, and rebellion have something in common with intellect, emotions, and will. Pride and intellect think. Emotions and selfishness feel. And rebellion and will move. Do you see that? They do. These 2 be and these do. And so what we find is that there are 3 things that happen in our relationships. There will always be 3. There will always be 3 because of each one of those attributes has a certain function. So the first attribute, pride, if I've got a relationship with you, Dale, that is based on a fallen nature, pride, selfishness, and rebellion, what that means is you have to have a reason for me to want you. So you need to do something that I want. Because this is, after all, about me, right? If you're living in pride, selfishness, and rebellion, it's about me. Therefore, you better please me. If you don't please me, then I don't want you. And since relationship is not an option for Dale, she will work to please me. How many find themselves doing that? If I do this, they'll like that. That's pleasing someone. And if you're doing it so they won't be mad at you, or they'll like you, or they won't correct you, then you're doing it out of pride. You're not doing it because you're humbly serving. You're still functioning in that same line of attribute where you've got the intellect. You're still functioning in that manner, but now it's about you, not about them. So if it's about you, then you better have something I want. You need to have a reason for me to desire you. Because if I don't desire you, forget it. How many have ever heard, well, marriage is a lot of work, but it's worth it? For who? Is your marriage about you? Or is it about them? Hard question. But are you thinking about you, or are you thinking about them? I'm married to you because I need to be married. Or I'm married to you because I want to humbly serve you at an intimate level. That's marriage. And what makes it worth it is God is smiling. Because if I have that attitude with my husband and he has that attitude with me, we've created fresh water. But if it's out of what I can get out of the marriage and I need to be married and I don't want to be lonely and I and me and I and I and me, I'm living in a cesspool with my husband. We're relating, but it's ugly. It has nothing to do with the kingdom. And Christians are in the same fault pattern. It's about me. It's about me. You counsel with people that come in that are Christian, that are married. It's all about, well, he makes me so mad when he does this. So this is about you. Well, no. Well, yeah, it is. And then the next thing is, okay, well, if I do that, but what if he doesn't? Then my needs won't get met. There's a lot of faith in that statement. It's hard. But that's the reality of the kingdom. And in the believer room, we've got to learn these principles of the clean water and the polluted water, because our assignment is to leave this and go to this. Do you see that? And what you'll find is each list, 1, 2, and 3, that's what we learn.